Hello there, my name's Tracy Elsom and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator based in Canada, and welcome to my Paper Craft with Me YouTube channel. Today I want to show you a quick project using this stamp set, which is actually retiring from Stampin' Up! Lovely little stamp set onto adventure with 4 little characters there and some nice sentiments. I originally thought this was someone doing yoga and a little dancer, and it turns out it's an elderly lady. But there you go, it's amazing what you see when you start to actually play with the stamp set. So my last project with this stamp set, I thought I would show you a little trick that I use when we are dealing with little tiny fine lines like that golf flagpole there. So I've done some preparation in advance, but I thought I would show you that project. So to start with, I have a piece of Whisper White card. Now before I actually came and turned the video on, I've just stamped a couple of images there. And these are in fact this oil stain from Geared Up Garage. This is a stamp set that we are keeping, but I wanted to stamp that, and I stamped it onto this card twice with Versamark ink, and then sprinkled it with clear embossing powder, and then heated the powder with my heat tool so that it's all melted, and you might be able to see a little bit of shine there, a little bit of gloss. But what I actually need that for is I wanted to create some clouds, and it's not often that you see clouds from oil spills, but there you go, I did. So I'm first of all going to grab a piece of scrap paper. I want to create a horizon line for my grass. So let's do it nice and quickly. There we go. Don't need a lot of grass, but it's just easier to do it this way. So I've just folded that. I know that that's nice and square. So now I'm going to grab Balmy Blue ink and holding that in place with a piece of stamping sponge, I'm just going to very quickly hold it tighter than that. Let's just add some. Not worrying too much about marks and lines. This is going to be really quick and easy. So you can see now where I've put the ink on, you can see how the embossing is resisting that ink. So now with that done, let's get rid of that. We're going to bring in our Granny Apple Green, and I'm just going to hold it down with this, I think. Just add some grass. And I'm being really quick and simple with this, not making an awful lot of fuss. So there we are. There's our grass, there's our sky, a couple of clouds. Now I'm going to bring in the golfer and some Memento black ink. So let's just there, and we'll stamp him like that. So looks a little bit odd at the moment, but he will be fine. Now if I was to try and cut out an image and put it over the top, which is one way of creating a scene, I would have a real problem with that flagpole. But here's my trick. I don't worry about the flagpole. By stamping him on the card first, I can now colour this little guy in and put him over the top. So I'm going to do that really quickly with some Stampin' Blend markers. Let's use light Highland Heather for his trousers. And I'm going to use Ivory for his skin. And notice I'm not doing any blending as such, I am literally just colouring. And you'll also see that I'm not using the brush end, and the reason for that is I have found that sometimes when you use the brush tip, it actually puts too much of the ink colour down on the card, and then that's what sometimes makes it bleed into other areas. So I prefer, for the most part, unless I'm doing a really big area, for the most part I tend to just stick with the bullet tip. It just makes it a little bit easier to control, and you can see I am just using little circular motions to colour in. You don't have to use Stampin' Blends to do blending. You can just use them as straight colours, and they give you a nice flat colour. You don't get any of those little lines that you get if you're using a normal marker. A little bit of light smoky slate for his moustache, for his hair, for his eyebrow. This is dark smoky slate, and I do his shoes with dark smoky slate. And then this is dark grey granite. I'll just do his cap. Now I want it a little bit darker than that, so I'm just going to go over it a second time. You can do that, add a little bit of extra colour. So there is my little guy. So now with a little bit of liquid glue, because I have stamped him in place here, I can put the glue onto this piece of card and just put that there. Put my little fellow over the top in exactly the same place as I'd stamped. Now suddenly he's holding the flag, and I do have a tiny flag here. So let's just add a little spot of glue. I'm going to grab my tweezers to put that in place. I could have put a mask before I'd done the sponging, but to be honest, this was just as easy. So now a light real red, and I've got my flag. So there you are. That's how I would put an image and then not have to worry about cutting out that flagpole. I've just cut him. I've cut the flag separately. Now to finish my card, I'm going to use multi-purpose liquid glue to attach this. As you can see on the back of there, the measurement for this piece for my main panel is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. So I'm going to mount that onto that. That is going onto grey granite card, and just press it into place. This grey granite piece is 3 3/4 by 5 inches, and I do tend to go a little bit mad with Stampin' Dimensionals, but that said, they're only a couple of cents each. I'd much rather add an extra dimensional than have the panel fall off or be a little bit floppy or whatever. So we'll take the backing off. One more. Okay, take that off. There's my panel. There's my card. Make sure it's the right way before you start to try and put it on. I cannot tell you how many times I've stuck a panel on and put it on upside down. So there is the front of the card. For the inside of the card, I have cut another piece of Whisper White. This is 4 by 5 1/4, and you can see I've already stamped and coloured my little guy there. A little bit of Tombow glue, and fix that on the inside. I always decorate the inside of the card like that, and then I decorate the envelope as well, and you can see I've coloured him again. Just one little trick. You will find that blends, they do tend to leak through card and paper. They're designed to really saturate the card with colour. So when I'm colouring onto envelopes, I always put a little bit of scrap paper inside so that any leaking doesn't go through to the back of the envelope. So there we are. There is my little panel. I haven't decided what I'm going to do for a sentiment yet. I probably will go for either happy retirement or wishing you everything wonderful. I haven't decided. So I'll do that off camera. I'll add that to my card, and then I will put all the sizes and dimensions, all the products I used over on my blog today. And you'll find that at www.papercraftwithme.com, and you'll also see lots of other projects that I've put on there, and there's a new project every single day to give you some inspiration into paper crafting. So thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more of my videos, you can flick through the ones that are already on the channel, and if you subscribe using the link below, you will be able to get a notification each time that I post a new video, and if you click the little bell icon, that will send a notification to your email. So thank you very much again for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed this project, and I hope you will join me again soon. Bye.